All right, guys, we're moving on here with slope. As you can see, all right, we don't have a graph anymore, so we don't have the luxury of just, counting the boxes like we did before. So it becomes a little more challenging. We're actually going to have to do a little bit of math now. Okay, but it is very, very doable. It's simple as long as you remember what I have written for you right there, which is our slope formula. Y2 minus Y1 on top of X2 minus X1. Now, those numbers on the bottom, these little numbers, they're called subscripts. The only thing that they mean, guys, okay, and I'll use the X's as the example. They want you to know that these two numbers are X's. The subscripts, they just want you to know that they're different, okay? So if I'm labeling them, X sub 1 is the X coordinate in the first ordered pair, and X sub 2 is the X coordinate in the second ordered pair. So over here, you'd have X1 and X2. And then you'd have the same thing going on with your Y's. This would be Y1, and this would be Y2. Okay, so when you plug them in, that's how you're going to plug them in. So it's going to be Y2 minus Y1, which would be -2 minus a -9. Notice the double negative there. Okay, there's a minus sign built into the formula on the top and the bottom. So if you're subtracting a negative and a negative make a positive, which I like to call superplus, if you remember that. On top of x2 minus x1, which would be -15 minus -9. Okay, same thing happens, right? I got another superplus. So on the bottom, I have -15 plus 9. So, and then I just, from there on out, guys, it's just arithmetic. -2 plus 9, that's +7. This is all stuff you can use your calculator for. -15 plus 9, that's -6. The only thing, if you remember, I said negatives go on the top. So I'm just going to make that -7/6. And that is my final answer to number 1. I don't have to make it a mixed number. I'm not going to divide it because it's going to be sloppy. I'm going to leave it as a fraction. We're okay with slope being a fraction. Perfectly fine with that. Okay, over at number 2. Okay, I forgot to label these. There's my y sub 1. There's my y sub 2. So y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Okay, so that would be -6 minus a -11. Okay, on top of x sub 2 minus x sub 1, which would be -5 minus 20. Okay, again, I got another superplus there on the top, -6 plus 11, that's going to be 5. On the bottom, -5 minus 20, that's -25. Okay, so I got 5 over -25. I'm going to shift the negative to the top because that's where it goes. Okay, and then that can be reduced. 5 over 25 can be reduced to -1 over 5. So your final answer there is -1 over 5. It's really just arithmetic, guys, making sure your numbers go in the right spots. Okay, making sure you just track your formula and follow your formula. A couple little hints because this can happen. Okay, I'll put them up here for you as you're doing these. All right, let's say you subtract your y's on the top and you get a 0 on the top. You subtract your x's on the bottom and you get a 6. 0 divided by 6. If you take nothing and cut it 6 times, you still have nothing. So that's going to be a slope of 0. If it was reversed and you did it and you had something like this, 6 over 0, you cannot divide by 0. That's not possible. This is going to be undefined. I always remember that, guys, by saying when the 0 is under the line, it's undefined. Under the line, undefined. So these are just a couple little hints to get you through those weird ones. Everything else, just keep track of your signs. Make sure you reduce fractions and make sure that you put your negatives on the top.